As the head of obstetrics, I swapped the embryos during my stepdaughter's IVF procedure because she and my husband were plotting to take my life. I was an obstetrician after being reincarnated. I swapped my husband and our sponsored student's embryo with a healthier one during an IVF procedure. In my previous life, the student's in-laws had demanded she conceive before marriage to prove her fertility. Desperate and fearful, she begged me to perform a secret IVF procedure. I agreed, blinded by pity and my trust in her as part of our family. After multiple failed attempts due to the poor quality of the sperm donor she provided, she couldn't sustain a pregnancy. Her grief turned into rage and she accused me of malpractice. Publicly, she claimed I falsified my credentials, intentionally caused her miscarriage, and played God with her life. I thought my husband would defend me, but he stood against me in court, accusing me of practicing medicine illegally. My world crumbled as I was fired from the hospital, stripped of my license, and sentenced to life in prison. There, abandoned by everyone I had ever trusted, I lost my mind the day I died, slamming my head against the cold, unyielding wall was supposed to end my suffering. But death revealed the truth. The poor quality sperm. It had been my husband's all along. He and the student had conspired against me, their affair predating her pleas for help. The procedure had never been about her future marriage. It was a calculated trap to ruin me and take everything I had built. They succeeded. My downfall handed them more than $1 million in compensation, my villa, and every piece of property I owned. And now in this life, I won't let them win again. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. When I opened my eyes again, sunlight streamed through the sheer curtains of my bedroom, casting warm golden patterns on the wooden floor. The faint scent of jasmine lingered in the air, a reminder of the diffuser I had always kept by the bedside. My chest rose and fell as I inhaled deeply, the sensation foreign yet achingly familiar. I was alive. The realization hit me like a tidal wave as my gaze landed on the antique mirror hanging above the dresser. My reflection stared back, unscared by betrayal and despair. The room was just as I remembered, filled with the modest furnishings Isaac and I had chosen together before our lives were consumed by ambition and deceit. I had returned. Memories from my previous life surged through me like an unrelenting storm. My chest tightened and I clenched my fists against the soft sheets, the fabric rounding me in this impossible reality. Her name sliced through my thoughts, dragging me back to that fateful day. Mrs. Johnson, you are a highly skilled doctor. Helping me with an IVF procedure should be no problem for you, right? That voice, sweet, melodic, and calculated. I looked up sharply, my heart thudding in my chest. There she stood, our sponsored student of 10 years, her youthful face radiating innocence that I now knew masked pure malice. Her dark eyes sparkled with feigned desperation, her slender fingers clutching at the strap of her worn leather bag as though she were a victim in need of salvation. The air seemed to thicken, and for a moment I struggled to breathe, but I forced a smile, steadying my trembling hands. Of course, Jessica, I replied, my voice smooth despite the storm brewing inside me. She didn't notice my clenched jaw or the way my nails dug into my palm. Memories of my past life screamed at me to act, but I held them at bay. If she wanted to play her game, I would let her, only this time I wouldn't lose. I glanced around the room again, the ache in my chest dulling as the familiar surroundings anchored me. This was my second chance, a gift. In my previous life, Jessica's story had seemed heartbreaking. She was a student Isaac and I had sponsored, a bright girl with dreams of becoming an engineer. Her hard work and dedication had earned her a scholarship to a prestigious university. She was supposed to be the pride of our household, a symbol of the good we had done in the world, but all of that shattered when she came to me, eyes brimming with tears, begging for help. Her fiancé, his family, bound by outdated customs, demanded she conceive before marriage. She claimed it was her only chance to secure her future. I had believed her, then pity and a sense of duty overrode my better judgment. I bent to the rules, ignoring the absence of a marriage certificate, and arranged for her IVF procedure. The failure of those procedures was devastating for both of us, or so I thought. Each failed pregnancy weighed heavily on my heart. The issue, as I discovered later, was the sperm she provided. Poor quality with little chance of producing viable embryos.